Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode.
Dude, I need coffee, bro. Fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Real Business Roundtable. Shout out to Powdered Toast Man and shout out to a non-sponsor. Reed's Ginger Beer. Listen to me clearly and slowly. They don't pay us. They are not a sponsor. I'm telling you to put your fucking lips on these cans and suckle the juice of the islands. Do you understand me? No need to get a plane ticket. No need to go to an airport. No need to overheat on the beach. Get a taste of the islands. Get yourself a 4-pack available at Whole Foods.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Bezos. Shout out to Bezos carrying the 4-pack at Whole Foods. And we're going to share it with the crew. We're going to share it with, I want the spelling of the name. I want to share it with Yakub Savouj. And then shout out to cousin Eddie from National Lampoon's Family Vacation. I'm going to look over at Sam and go, hey, I bet you could use a cool one.
Yeah, I bet you could use a cool one, huh? Now you're talking.
Give one to Cameron. You want me to throw it? No, I'll break the camera.
There's so
Fuck
much
that.
expensive equipment right there.
There is expensive equipment in here.
That camera in front of your face is
Samir
too much money.
Smithanian.
Oh my God. It pops and sprays everywhere.
But remember, go to Whole Foods, get the 4-pack. They don't pay us shit. I just love this product. I usually have almost one a day. One a day. It's amazing. So today's episode is called Learning from Failure. Now, I don't like to, I'm not one of these wannabe Silicon Valley fucking lunatics that thrive on failure. Fail fast, fail this, fail that, oh, fail. That mindset, you can go fuck yourself. I don't have the time, the money, or the risk tolerance to want to fail. But in the moment that I do, I always learn. Now, if somebody fails on purpose to try to learn, there's something fucking wrong with you. Absolutely. If an investor invests in your business and you try to fail, that is irresponsible. That is reckless. That is wrong. Now, when you do fail in business, because it does happen, sorry, I hate to break it to you, there are times that things don't work out. You need to capitalize on that. So what I do is I make lemonade out of lemons. If it's raining, I'll collect the water and drink it. Maybe not nowadays, but I will try to turn a negative into a positive. So in business, this is very, very important. Just take my craziness and whatever, me being funny to the side. This is a very serious topic. If you do fail in business, please understand, don't try to fail like a motherfucker with a checkered shirt sipping a fucking latte. Motherfucker.
Do people try to fail?
Bro, these motherfucking lunatics from Silicon Valley.
Can you turn on the monitor?
Oh yeah, fail. Like they wanna fail because of the opportunity to learn. But at what? At whose expense? Whose money are you spending? Who's investing? Is this the public's money? Oh, it's okay to fucking set it on fire.
All you care about is money. This town deserves a better class of criminal.
You're telling people who maybe does not have access to the cash that you do, right? You're telling people to fail fast. Very, very bad. Hopefully, you as an entrepreneur, you have the mindset to navigate that journey and make moves where failure is less likely. But what I'm trying to stress is that There are going to be little failures here and there.
And big failures.
But never try. Never try to fail.
It's
Never try to fail because you are costing somebody money. The public's money, an investor's money.
well, if
whoever it
it's
is,
your business, your cost. Yeah.
don't try to fail. Also, understand that some things have a timeline to success. You may call something a failure and you pull out too quick. That is another big problem in business. People want instant gratification, right? Because they're basically big children. Red toy, red ball, right? So you have to deal with these fucking children and explain to them it takes time to build equity into something or build a brand. You got to sit tight. 2 months. No. Sit the fuck down. Sit down. It takes more than 2 months to build an empire. I don't know who to. So failure is not always forced within that timeline. So understand, in business, when you have small failures, let me give you an example. You hire a vendor and the vendor does not perform. You know certain signs and attributes and experiences and things that were involved with that vendor that would allow you to, when maybe working with another vendor, to weed it out and avoid that failure. Now, what is that? What is that? Learning. That is learning. That is equity that you hold as an entrepreneur, that you learn, right? Do not pass judgment on every single tactic that is related to that tactic that failed. There may be a different option.
Listen, at the end of the day, I feel like the word failure shouldn't be the word. Because realistically, like,
Learning from experience.
it's all about its experiences. You've had
That word fail,
bad experiences.
That phrase "fail fast" makes me want to bend steel.
But at the same time, like, I think
I want
you're
to
taking
flip
it wrong.
cars. I want to flip cars and move cars like Franco Columbo from Pumping Iron. Cue the clip. One of the things that I learned as a small business owner, coming up with an idea and starting something, as much as you love friends and family, do not put something critical in their hands. I'm not talking about someone you're already in business with, because I'm in business with my brother-in-law, and he's awesome. No complaints. I'm talking about years ago, me and him tried to form a company that was like a search engine, like a directory. It was like a hybrid thing. It was completely different. It had a unique twist to it. And this web developer owed him a favor. Now, Jay knows how to build websites, and this required another level of database work. But he's like, yeah, this guy I know, John or whatever name, he owes me a favor. Let's go talk to him. And I met with him. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. Right? This fucking guy did nothing. Absolutely nothing. And he's like, oh, I got stuff going on. And where you mix that, well, you just, like, it was just some random dude. Like, a lot of people will put something so critical like that in a family member's hands, and like nothing ever happens.
Well, here's the thing, though, is like if something is
That's
critical,
what I learned.
Absolutely, but the main thing is when you put something critical in a family member or a close friend or whatever close relationship, significant other, when you put that in their hands, people make mistakes. At the end of the day, people make mistakes. And now
this guy just didn't take it seriously, even though he owed my business partner a big favor.
Yeah.
Right? He was like, yeah, man, I got it. And then he kept like dragging his ass. And then another time I spoke to somebody else, which was a friend of a friend's, like, cousin. Oh, yeah. I'm like, all right, what are we talking about for money? Oh, yeah. Throw out some numbers. They didn't do shit. Like, they didn't even like break ground. They didn't even get started. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop with this. I know this guy through friends and family. I'm actually going to hire and work with a professional who has maybe a website, or they're a freelancer, or they're a consultant. I need to find someone that knows how to do this type of database work. So we had a whole business idea. We had the logo, we had everything created, like all the business like schematic, like how it works, how it makes money, how you monetize. and it just fizzled. It didn't do anything. And then we ended up kind of moving more towards Search Pro because we were like, well, you know how to do all this SEO stuff. And
Yeah, well, like I was saying before, though, it's like when you put something critical in the hands of a significant other, there's that relationship and there's business, and it's very hard to separate those two. You could have really close friends in business and still be able to manage that relationship. It just has to be a particular type of person or people. But
you got to be really cautious.
Yeah, when you
Not saying all.
No.
I'm just saying I learned to be very, very extra cautious because, yeah.
But people make mistakes, right? At the end of the day, I'm not saying your situation, but in general, people make mistakes. And if that is a huge critical thing, a piece of your business, and there's a mistake that's made, you're going to get annoyed. You have to give critical feedback. You have to and some people can't handle that. It's just, it turns into a mess sometimes. I've been in it. Thank God, we can be good friends. We still fucking fight about shit sometimes, but either way, we're in there's certain relationships that do work and then certain relationships that don't. So it's you got to be careful with who you get involved with business.
That's one. Yeah, that's another thing is who do you get involved with in business? What is their intention? There's a ton of business stories out there where people get burned. They get thrown into the coals. And you got to make sure when you are going into business with someone, basically getting into bed with them, it's a very close relationship. So you got to make sure that person, isn't going to F you over and isn't going to try to get one over on you or whatever. You got to work with straight shooter, honest people. You don't have to be a saint. I'm saying that you can just be a good, genuine person. Be fair. That's a big thing in business, is be fair. Now, on to other types of failures in learning. Aside from vendors, because you'll learn a lot from vendors, you'll work through the weeds and you'll find good ones, you'll find bad ones. And usually when you find a good one, you're not supposed to change it. So that's a big thing that you might have to learn. Say you're working with a vendor, right? Everything's great. You get some knucklehead competitor contacts you. If you are happy with your current vendor, there is truly no reason to change, right? But that new vendor coaches you. Oh, yeah. Come on, use our bullshit, yeah. And then boom, trash, right? You need to run back with your tail between your legs to your old vendor and apologize and say, I'm sorry, I didn't appreciate what I had. That's something that you need to learn in business. I have worked with vendors and I try somebody else and I'm like, whoa, oh my God, I didn't realize what I had.
When it comes to building a business, at the end of the day, you have to write down, type out, whatever, jot down your idea, how you're going to monetize it, the business plan, all the operations, period, right? That's what you do. Now, when you've dealt with any sort of, bump in the road failure, whatever it is, treat it like it's a business, right? You got to write down exactly what happened, analyze, understand so that it doesn't happen again. Add it to a piece of your risk management file within that brain and make sure that you don't replicate that situation and don't put yourself back into another situation like that.
And you got to understand that micro failures are a real thing in business. That you do something and you learn from it. You see patterns. That is a survival technique that us as humans we have is the patterns, looking at patterns. If something repeats, to avoid, to maneuver, right? Those are, I refer to as micro failures. Those are okay. Again, don't strive for them. But what I've learned in the prospecting process, if you want to share some of my micro failure stories, is when somebody leans back in their chair in a sales situation and says the words, the phrase, to be honest with you. That person is 95% pretty much guaranteed to be wasting your time. I don't know what it is, but I have calculated every single person that says, to be honest with you, bro, just shut the fuck up. Just stop. I don't know what it is. It's that phrase. When somebody says that, it goes nowhere. Usually I find out after peeling back that onion and looking deep, I'm all up in that, right? I'm all up in it, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. You can't afford to grow. What are we doing right now? We're pre-revenue, or we just wanted to talk to you. I only do $30,000 annual. The key word to watch out for, and it's a red alert. If a prospect says, to be honest with you, stay aware, stay ahead of the game. Always identify patterns in business. When you see patterns, it allows you to be more strategic, leisurely. You can be more strategic with every move that you make in business. I know that Jakub Savuj.
Thank you so much.
Itchy. Yeah, here we
Thank
go.
you so much for joining us today on Real Business Roundtable. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll see you next time. Peace out.